Okay.
She's like,
Kim, am I mute?
no, we in
Oh,
there.
okay.
We in
Because
there.
it showed on the screen saying,
Let's go.
You were my lover. Used to be one of my best friends. Someone I really love to talk to. When my days coming to an end, but I know we had to grow apart. But I never knew things would get so hard. And I'll always love you for who you are. See, I don't blame you for running. Never stay in the dark places you've been. So please, can you tell me something that will take to make it ours again? See, I don't blame you for running. I never stay in the dark places you've been. So please, can you tell me something that will take to make it ours again? Everybody knows that I'm right, but I hate myself when I let go. For putting up such an emotion.
It's deep, sis.
true. True. So many of our stories.
What'd you say?
So many of our stories. She's only one.
She's not the only one. I'm gonna let it go because if I listen to that whole thing, I might be rolled up in a ball. Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night. Yeah. Friday Night Live with Dr. Kim. We are back. I missed you all last week, and with good reason. It was my birthday weekend. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. So I took the weekend off to celebrate, turning those double nickels. Landmark birthday. So I thought, I owed it to myself for some time off. And so I got it in. And then, guess what? Caught the vid. Can you believe that? So I come off the birthday weekend and I'm like, wow, friends and family came out to celebrate, get up, go to work Monday, get off work Monday. And I'm feeling some kind of way. Overnight, it gets worse. Test positive on Tuesday. In the bed for 2 days. So that vaccine, it'll protect you, but it's not 100%. So what it did do is it prevented me to being laid out for 10 days or something like that. But it didn't stop me from getting the vid. And so wasn't sure I would be on tonight, but I'm with you tonight. Little hoarse. So you might hear a little coughing here and there. But true to form, I have my beverage of choice tonight, which is a delightful watermelon and pineapple martini. Probably not the best for coming out of the vid, but nevertheless, I think it's going to help with the hoarseness as well as our topic tonight, which is the one that got away. Wow. So we're going to unpack that in a minute. But first, the person sitting to my left might be your right. A wonderful new friend of mine, longtime member of my group, Love and Life According to Dr. Kim.
Yes.
Marie Wilson is joining me tonight to
Yes.
talk about this subject. Woo, Lord. And in our rehearsal, I'm like, we almost did the whole show. Like, we had to stop, press pause. Like, this was getting good. I was like, we got to save it for the people, Marie. So Marie is joining me tonight. So Marie, I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get into it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim, for inviting me on your platform. I know that you don't choose people just randomly. You are methodical in what you do.
Yeah.
Your approach. I have followed you. It's been now maybe, I don't know how long you've been up, but
this is 3 years. I think this is
the
third year on my birthday. It was 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I came across your Facebook post and immediately was just totally in love with your approach for love, your approach for the sisters, keeping tomfoolery away, not making it about brother bashing.
Yes.
Or and even developing a platform for sisters to love on each other and not be critical and not, be haters. And it grieves me to hear women, our women, Black women, say that you can't trust another woman. These barriers and these boundaries and these things we set up, I'm so grateful that God is using you in such an awesome way to breaking those things down, what we feel about ourselves, what we feel about each other, what we feel about our Black men, and definitely what we feel about what love is.
Come on, all of that.
I'm like, I like her. She on point. So, in doing so, a little bit about me. I am single. I was married for 10 years, separated for another 10, divorced 2 years ago. My ex has since passed away. I'm a mother of 6. Single, not dating, not looking, wasn't looking, not because I'm hating, by no means, no. Just my own preference. As you can see, I'm wearing my fine jewelry. I suffer with chronic illness called sarcoidosis. Many of you all may be familiar with it in association with Bernie Mac. Mm-hmm. And it's not that having it is a deterrent for me. I only just became O2 dependent 3 years ago. Prior to that, no one even knew that I was sick. I didn't carry it that way, didn't look that way, still don't, with the exception of this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
for real. Don't get it twisted. Girl, it's okay. But anyway, grandmother to host of family friends. I am so richly blessed. Professionally, I'm an RN. I work from home. Due to my health, couldn't work or practice as a FNP, but still God has his awesome plan. I count more of my blessings than complaints. And I am so honored to talk with Kim personally. I feel like we old friends.
Absolutely.
And so again, thankful. I don't want to take up a lot, but that's me. And I will tell you this, what you see is what you get. I have other witnesses to bear witness to that, even as far as grade school, all the way up till now. I am transparent. I mean, no offense to anyone. And hey,
So
It
we're
is
gonna
what it
call it
is.
as we see it.
Call
And
it
that's why you were
is.
drawn to that's why you were drawn to the group. Like I said, for those who have been following me for a while, know that's what we do. We call it as we see it, straight, no chaser.
Yep.
You know, but it's still yet and still a safe space because
Yep.
you know you can say what you need to say without judgment.
And
Right.
it's out of love. It really is. It's
Out of love.
not
And through that we
intentional
learn.
to hurt anyone. And sometimes I can tell you, sometimes we need to be hurt. Because even with an orthopedic, to set a broken bone, sometimes you got to break it
Ooh,
in order to reset it.
that's
So
right.
it can heal right.
That's right.
So sometimes we have to be broken. We have to hear the hard pill that's hard to swallow because we're so rooted in so much falseness that
God.
stems out of a lot of our childhood, what we thought, what we made ourselves to believe, or even what someone told us. And so God wants to unearth all that so we can get to the real trueness of who he says we are.
Come
I can
on.
tell you, I've been broken, still getting broke.
Okay.
Don't like it, didn't say now that you gotta like it.
Yeah, it's not comfortable at all. But
It's
necessary.
not. It's
But
not.
necessary.
But it's necessary. And
But necessary.
so
So
I
that's
bless.
what we
Yeah.
do here. That's what we do here. And so as the relationship renovator, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's my job. I try to put it back together. So like she said, what's been broken, whether we broke it or it was broken up or whatever. And we're going to talk about a little bit of all of that tonight. So if you're watching right now, you need to invite somebody to watch. You need to like this. You need to share it. We need as many people to see this as possible. If you have not subscribed already, you need to subscribe so you don't ever miss anything else. Because I'm telling you, tonight we're going to set it off. It's somebody that needs to see this. The one that got away. Now, this came up for a number of different reasons, but a lot of it is because of the messages that I'm getting during this cuffing season, right? It's still cuffing season. Now, if you haven't been chosen, not looking good for you because pretty much everybody that's paired up is paired up. However, there still is a remnant out there that's going back through the messages and saying, who is it that I texted last that didn't text me back? Let me double text. Now, you know it's rough when you get the double text, right?
Yeah.
That means somebody has put all their pride aside and said, even though you did not respond to me already, I'm going to reach out yet again. And typically people will do that to someone who they consider to be the one that got away. So who is this one that got away? So by definition, the one, okay, and most people have at least one, okay, that you're like, oh my gosh, they're the ex that was really the perfect person for me. They checked every single box. We were golden, and then something happened. So tonight we're going to talk about those 7 somethings that may have happened. We're also going to talk about what if you are the one that got away. And I know for several people, I am that one. We won't name it. We're going to protect the guilty and the innocent. But I know for a few people, hey, Sherry Berry, for a few people that I'm that one. So we're going to talk about how do you know that you're the one that got away from somebody.
Yeah.
And then because we know there's still some people whose dance card is not full, who are sitting on the wall waiting to be asked to dance.
Yeah.
You want to do something about that. So what if the one that got away is available? Do you want to open that can? If so, by the end of the show tonight, you're going to know how to open that can.
Yeah.
See if you can get the one that got away
Yeah.
back. Okay, so let's talk about what happened in the first place. How does the one that got away, how did they get away? Usually it's because, and this is probably the most popular one, and Maria's going to help me with each one of these, and we're going to try our best Lord, as the Baptist preacher say, we're gonna try not to be before we come. We already 20 minutes in and we haven't even got to the first bullet point. Lord help us. So if you're just coming in, good evening, good evening, good evening. Friday Night Live with Dr. Kim. This is my special guest, Marie Wilson, and we're talking about the one that got away. The first thing that happens, the first way or reason the one that got away is because hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't realize they were that one until they're gone. And after the fact, you go, wait a minute. For everything that he or she did, there was so much that they did right. Like they really were that person, but you didn't realize what you had until you didn't have it. Talk to me, Marie.
On that I would say, well, we'll go down because you ain't my reason is further down the line.
Okay, we just gonna talk in generality,
right? But just in general, just within that, just with this first bullet point, it was comfortable. He was comfortable. He was, just as Dr. Kim outlined, all these points. Everybody else saw it. Your family saw it. Your friends saw it. They was like, girl, why you don't like him? You're like, yeah, okay, he's okay. But I don't really tickle my fancy like that. Because for some of us that are in that phase where this is the guy, but you don't see it, is because I've had some friends, you looking for that thug.
Oh, not the bad boy.
Yeah. And this one is just too nice. He ain't pulling your hair. He has a soft tone in his voice. He ain't cursing you out. He not belittling you because you're so used to verbal abuse. You equate that oh, that's love if he comes hard, if he, if he, just from the street. If he, you see a lot of this caught up with this fatal attraction type thing.
Oh God.
Nice something bad in you. You gonna be his ride or die chick. That's the one, because he don't fit that bill. Oh yeah, he okay. Yeah, he does this, he loves me, he checks the box, my family love him. And then if you have children, oh yeah, my kid, but nah.
So I hear you saying that perhaps some men and women are addicted to drama.
Yeah.
So unless there's this drama that some people view as passion, right? Because I've heard some women say that it's like, well, if he doesn't have any type of emotion when I say something or do something, then he must not really love me. And it's just like, so you're gonna push a button on this man until he blows a gasket for him to prove that he does really actually love you. Like you said, so toxic. But like you said at the beginning, if that's been your experience, right, in your family, and I've talked about it on previous shows where I've met men who felt the same way. If we didn't argue, you're like, you're not really that into me. I don't argue.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to have a conversation with you. It may be a very heated conversation. But when you get to one, I'm out. We didn't do that when I grew up. We're going to go here, and then folks are going to go silent. So once I start going up here and changing my name, I gotta go. Kim is out. So some people, that does become a love language, if you will. Conflict, drama. This thing's dry. Oh, he shows up on time and we go out. He pays the bill. He kisses me goodnight. Are you for real?
Oh no, girl, he gay.
Yeah, he must be gay, right? And if he's not trying to snatch my drawers and take money from me, then he must be gay, or he must be seeing somebody, because I know he got to be getting it from somewhere.
Right. So, that's white girl. Things, that's white girl stuff. Then we don't do that. That's
and I've heard men tell me that, like, about things I wanted to do, and it's like, I don't be doing all that white stuff. Like, where'd you get that from?
Right. You watching too many movies.
Yeah, exactly. So what I hear now, here's the thing that concerns me, what you're saying is hindsight is 2020. Are you thinking about people that you knew years ago? Or is this something that you're still hearing with your contemporaries?
Oh, no.
Really?
It's still going on. Yes.
And that's scary that you got
Yes.
reasonably aged women
Yep.
who are still equating this bad boy image as a way to prove that they love, that they are.
Yeah. Because it's hard. It is hard. You know, they have that saying, you know, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
It is.
So it's really a challenge. And so, you know, really, you know, I don't dog out my sisters, sis, I see where you coming. And so you really looking like this, but what if, because you are drawn to this brother, you do like what he's doing, you do like what he's putting out, because when he drifts because of your actions and he gets with somebody else, you hurt, you devastated, you messed up. So really, is it the real bad boy? Maybe this guy actually sees you.
Oh,
the problem is you don't see you.
You don't see
you.
And like you said, this false narrative of what a man looks like.
Yeah.
What a man, how a man shows up. So they're not even reading him as somebody desirable because he doesn't have the characteristics that is valued by her social circle. And I admit being guilty of that, but I was a much younger woman. You know, I'm talking college, you know, before I got married the first time. And I had the one that got away from me, definitely it fits this number one for me. I didn't get it until he was married.
Yeah. And I've heard guys. Yep. And a lot of my male friends have said, yeah, I was a nice guy. So yeah, I couldn't get the girl because I wasn't, you know, no offense to anybody with me saying this, I wasn't beating her ass.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't cursing her out. And that's what she was looking for, but I couldn't do that. That was against who I am. And so we think that the bad guys is what's dominant in our community because we don't see the ones that aren't. And so, yeah.
I don't even think it's, I'll say this. I think there's definitely some merit to talking about the bad boy syndrome.
Yeah.
But I think probably even more so, we might say it's the quest for the alpha male, right? So wanting this take charge kind of guy, you know, like we talk about, oh, I could submit to a man who's leading. These guys don't want to lead.
Yeah.
Right? So then when I take the driver's seat, they will get upset. So this notion of wanting the alpha male, and then if a guy doesn't show up like that, then you're not really a real guy. When maybe, like I learned about my one that got away, he was a pleaser. He was a giver. So one of the issues that we had in the short time that we dated was he would never, to me, make a decision. So if we were going out, he's like, where do you want to go? I don't know. Let's go to dinner. Let's go to the movie. Okay. Where do you want to eat? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, wherever you want us to go. Now, part of it is too, at the beginning, you're trying to learn the boundaries. So like, I'm thinking what would have been popular in the late 80s. You know, I don't want to choose.
Right.
Well, Red Lobster was like some place to go back then. Right. So maybe I choose Sizzler, right? Because we can eat for $5.99. They got the, you know, the endless salad bar or whatever.
Right,
I don't want to choose this. And maybe that's too much for what you make.
Right.
So it's kind of like wherever you want us to go. And so it'd be this back and forth. And I'm just like, would you just make a decision? You know, like wherever. Where he was really just, in hindsight, before we make this point, he just wanted me to be happy.
Yes.
So he's been married to his wife now 32, 33 years.
Wow.
And he's still that same guy. where sometimes she's like, just make the decision. So then, but they've got to understand, okay, so now at least give her a choice. So it's here or there. And then she can, she's still making the choice, you know. But I'm like, wow, I would give, you know, a vein, you know, I give a vial of blood, you know, for somebody at this point who would just be willing to make a, you know, for me to make the decision. So I would be smiling and I would be happy. But at the time, I just thought that he don't even have a background.
right.
Tell me what we gonna
do.
Right. So then I get that, and you're like, oh man, want to control how I breathe when I read, you know, what I think, what I read, what I watch.
Yeah.
That's what you asked for, sis. You didn't appreciate this man who really only wanted you to be happy. So hindsight is 2020. The sad part about that too is taking people for granted. And sometimes we do that. Like, so we kind of take for granted the things that people willingly are doing for you that you never even asked for. Get with the next person and you're like, oh, I just thought everybody was like that. And you find out, no, that was a special individual. And you were special to them. So the second one, kind of related to this. Thank you for those of you who are coming in. Please like and share. Invite some people to listen to this conversation. Share it on your wall. You can inbox somebody with the link, but please share, please share, please share. Men and women, this is not just a ladies only conversation. That's why we're on YouTube now instead of just in our private group, because we want the fellas to hear what we're saying. We want them to interact as well. So the second one, the second reason why the one that got away, is sometimes we were looking for something very different at the time. So kind of what we're talking about here, you know, your 20s, you're still kind of figuring yourself out. And the opinion of your friends and your family figures in a lot. And so maybe at the time, it was about fun. It was about girls your toes, you know. You feel some kind of way. So he got to be the one. And instead of understanding, and I remember reading this, they said, if the person makes you nervous, that's not your person. That's not your permanent person. But if it's the person that brings you peace and calm, that's the person you stay. Well, the average young person, we going for the thrill. So it's like, no, it's the one I get the butterflies and the hair stand up on the back of my neck. No, it's I want more of that. You get addicted to that. And it's like, I got, you know, you got to have more of it. And that's usually the person that's the worst for you. So what we're looking for at the time, we end up letting that person go or letting them get away because we're looking for something very different, very different. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, to just expound just a little bit as well, to say, 20s, like you said, I'm trying to figure it out. But I think as women, for most of us, we've been so groomed on relationships as little girls, whether you play with a doll. I have many friends whose aspirations were to grow up, to get married and have children. And I was like, what? And so just to your point with the difference, it was like, for me, forget that. You know, I'm on a roll. We out
here.
I want to hear me roar. So to meet someone and they were all that in a bag of chips with the pickle juice and the hot sauce.
Not the pickle
because
juice.
I'm focused on my agenda. I don't have time. I don't have that time to get off my square. And actually, I have a daughter that's like that. And guys are accommodating, some good guys and some great guys. And she's like, hey, Mom, I got to be focused. I'm not going out like that. So we can miss that one that is willing to take that journey with you.
Yeah.
willing to
Yeah.
walk with you. And yeah, because we don't make room for destiny and love.
Oh.
It's either we say one or the other. It's either love or destiny, because if I fall in love, then I'm gonna be so wrapped up in you that I'm gonna forget my destiny. And I'm gonna forget me.
Do you think there's young people coming up with that, or do you think that's kind of a message in society?
And I think that's a combination. Yeah.
I think
With
it's
that.
a message.
Yeah, because it's constantly, especially as I was seeing, movie stars like Rosie O'Donnell and all these other stars having babies without the husband. And then this this message that a lot of white women were saying, as far as we don't need men and for whatever their struggle is. And a lot of us as Black women took that on, not realizing that our community was already fractured.
Yep.
That shouldn't have been our stance.
And that's taking on the values of the majority culture, which is not the majority anymore, but Northern American values of independence and individualism.
Yes.
And so it's more important for my personal achievement than it is to form a relationship with somebody that may actually produce something, right, that benefits not only both of us individually, but the community at large, our family at large, our culture at large. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, and I'm not doing love, especially if the love narrative has been that love equates hurt. So why would I sign up for that?
Yeah.
Right. So, or that it's all sacrifice. So we don't ever look at the value added of having that special someone. It's all about what I'll have to give up.
Right.
And notwithstanding, there is a sacrifice, right, to having a primary relationship, but it doesn't have to be the end of your living. I was telling, let me give a shout out to my unicorn angel. I just thought about something we were talking about. Hey, unicorn angel. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago, but even with parenting, like what you were mentioning a minute ago, the whole view of parenting, and I know mine was that my life is kind of done until I have these kids.
Yeah.
So if that's so think about it, if young people were taught that, like, who would sign up for that? You're like, wait a minute, so I'm gonna just cancel my whole entire life.
Yeah.
For the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, again, yes, there's some adjustments, but knowing what I know now, I know there's a whole lot that I still could have done while I was being a good mother to my children that wouldn't have made me a bad mother to do them. Yeah. But again, given the examples that I had, for me to go out and do some things that I enjoyed was looked at as taking away from them.
Yes.
You're supposed to be on your watch. You had your turn.
Right.
So you're a mother. That's what you do. And if you're a wife too, forget it. So then there's no room for Kim and Marie. It's your wife. Right. And then I even had that backward. That was something else that I learned. Whole nother show for another day. And me and you talked about that, how that is the primary relationship. It is my husband and me. Yep. And if we're solid, that's the foundation for these children. Yeah. But again, I thought it was my kids. It was my kids. It was my kids. We have children now. Grow up. And you get your turn. And it's like, I had it so wrong. So anyway, so hindsight is 20/20. Sometimes we have taken people for granted and they get away. Sometimes we were looking for something different at the time. And then when we look up and we're like, now I know what I really want. They gone.
They gone.
Somebody else is smart. Somebody else is smart. Now it's like, you okay, I'm ready.
Wow.
The timing being right.
Yeah.
The timing just wasn't right. You had a lot going on. Maybe it was school, maybe it was work, maybe it was a health challenge, maybe it was a family issue, but the timing just wasn't right. It seemed
Oh,
like
yeah.
you were available, he wasn't available.
Yep.
Or he had to go away. Sometimes I see that with military situations.
Oh, yeah.
So the couple is just kind of getting on an even keel. They're feeling each other, and then
Yep.
both of them end up getting deployed. And you're like, oh my gosh. So now, are we going to continue getting to know each other? Or do we really know the inevitable? You're going to be there thousands of miles away. And I'm
Yeah.
going to be there. We're going to end up dealing with other people. So why don't we break it off right now and go our separate ways and try to save ourselves from some heartbreak. But the whole time you're knowing, like, this literally was my person.
Right.
But
Wow.
we don't have enough water under the bridge to support this, right?
Right.
Over this long distance. So you let them get away. And in the back of your mind, you're hoping maybe when they come back or when I come back, we can get it back together. Usually by then, it's a critter involved.
It's more.
Somebody.
Yep. It's more things that keep it further apart. Other things come into play. Even your heart may change for a moment, but you still have that. How did this happen? How did we get here? Why are we here? You may even just send out your petition. God, please.
Okay.
Please bring them back.
Just saying something.
Right.
Lord.
I'm not gonna ever find this. This is my chance. This was my last white hope. Where you going with this?
Okay.
This was my rocket. What? Why? Why not? Why God? What?
Lord,
I'm like, oh, this is so cruel.
Weren't we just talking about drama? Did you see that to a whole fit? But it's true. But the timing just
Timing, yeah.
Timing
And
just.
then will I trust the time? Will I trust that this will happen? Will I think? Or will I fall off into the abyss and say no?
Lord,
it's just not meant to me. Feeling the woe is me.
And that's what you had. That's what you eventually accept. It's just because if we were meant to be, then it would have lined up.
You know what, Kim? Even now, I don't know who's watching. Even now, somebody's feeling this. Even now, I don't know, sis. You feel like I hear y'all talking, but you don't know my story. This hurts too bad. I don't even know why I'm even on this, why I'm even listening to this. Please, God knows. He sees you, baby. It's not over. It is not over. It is why he has impregnated this sister with this form. It's why you have this room to let it all out, to lay it all. Don't worry about what anybody else say. Don't worry about what your friends and family say. This is between you and the Lord. He knows your heart. He sees, and he sees your tears. He's heard your cries. He sees your hurt. He sees your pain. It's not over. It is not over. It's not over.
It's not over.
It's not over.
That man's heart still. Don't take us to the benediction. She gonna take
I'm sorry, Kim. I'm sorry. But it just hit me all.
No. But that's good because a lot of whenever we hit that one, they're like, so we get on your street. That's how people are gonna feel. It's like, dang, if I had just that word, if is so powerful, right? So if I had known, did, stopped, waited.
Stay. Let me tell you this. God is so good. He will redeem the time. He is not restricted by our and not limited by our time, by the months, by the baby. I'm telling you, hear me, sis. Hear me on this. Let the tears flow, please. Please, but don't give up. Don't.
That's healing in this conversation. And I said, don't forget the fellas, because there's some fellas out there thinking about where that girl is tonight on this Friday night. They could be sitting up there together. popping Jiffy Pop popcorn,
Yep.
but he had other things in mind. Let's move to the next one. You pushed them away because you weren't ready. Now that's the one I figured a lot of guys can relate to. And that's the and I've had several clients who have gotten on the couch about that one. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. And some of that I wasn't ready is because they didn't see themselves as the person that could provide these things for this woman. And that's why I said typically that's when we hear from I hear from the men. There are some women who will say that I wasn't ready for what he was like. He was ready for a wife, and I was still figuring myself out, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and for that stable life. Hey, we gonna come in every day, the white picket fence. Kids gonna follow a goldfish or a dog, and I wasn't there. I didn't see myself as ready to adult. But typically, this falls more under the men who are like, look, we're good.
Right.
Like we are. Why does it have to be something else? I'm not ready to fully give myself, right? So that full commitment. I'm not ready to put a ring on it. I'm not ready. Right. But if we stay right here, I'm good. And eventually that woman is like, hey, I'm giving you all the time that I have.
Right.
And while I love you, I can't give you my whole life or continue to live in the gray. And it's only once that man sees that woman living the life that they could have had together, he realizes, you know what? She was the one that got away.
Yep.
She really wasn't asking me for that much.
Yep.
But I didn't think I could give it to her. Or some folks figure there might be somebody else. So I want to wait it out. I just want to see, is there maybe somebody else? Because maybe this woman, and I'll just talk about me, okay? Because I know one of my people, and if he's watching, he's going to laugh when I say this. I love this girl. She is that person. I mean, she's smart. She's pretty as hell. She can cook. But she can be mean as a rattlesnake if you step on her baby toe. I mean, that girl got a temper.
Yeah.
She will listen, okay? He will tell you stories, okay, of my temper, okay? And if you know me, you haven't known me that long, but if you know me, if I snap off, it's because I've held on for a really long time. Or I wish one of my kids would say, you bother one of my kids. Now you bother that Christopher, that Leslie, that Lindsay, you done bought the farm. Then you gonna get what you get. Do not, I repeat, do not.
Yes, do
Touch
not.
a hair on the head. Don't come nigh.
Yes.
Christopher.
A woman scorned.
Leslie or Lindsay, you're gonna get all of this.
Yes.
Beyond that, it is bothering the least of these. I don't like to see people bother quiet people. It don't bother the marginalized, don't bother the elderly. You do one of those, you're gonna get some of me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't just snap off, be snapping off. I ain't never been one, oh, she on her period. It's gotta be a reason. But that part of my personality bothered him, and I know that. And he was just like, and he would tell his family, y'all just don't know that girl. She's 35. she got a crazy bone, okay? And I don't know if I can live with that.
Ooh, yes, Lord.
But
yes,
everything
Lord.
else on paper, this girl, I mean, she damn near perfect.
Yeah.
But when that right there, he was like, I don't know. So I think the jury was still out for him. It's like, it's got to be somebody out here who's going to be just like her, but not mean, not go off like that. And he ain't found it yet. He's still single, but so am I. So, what are you going to do? So
but then that's where I think we're coming where the because we meet people at a certain point in our lives, right? So we don't know the underlying causes or what people's triggers are and what makes them react or act in a way. Even that individual may not be as astute to knowing why they respond in that way. When as you were speaking, now this not in the line, I'm sorry to segue, but just to touch on that point with the anger. So it was that when my husband would pat me on my butt, and I would just be enraged. One time he did it while I was ironing a shirt for work, and he pat me, and I didn't know our youngest daughter was coming into the room at the time. And when he pat me, I had the iron, and I just started bing, and she ran out, "Mommy beating Daddy with the iron."
Oh no!
And
oh my gosh,
he would just look at me and say, "You certifiable." But what I didn't know till a dear friend, her godfather actually began to minister to me. We were just having a casual conversation, and the Lord revealed some things to him about me, saying that I hadn't forgiven some individuals, some men. But what happened was, at the age of 9, I had been molested, fondled, 9, age of 12, 21, 26. So all of this rage was still yet in me. And so certain triggers, so like how you were saying, not saying it's you, but how you pointed out certain things. So there were certain things, child, a mother not addressing a child who was talking about their teacher being inappropriate, or seeing someone, coming after another, but it was all that was in me. But God had to deal with that in me, and I had to deal with it. And in dealing with it, set me free, so it's no longer a trigger. So I can receive the affection without the rage because it's gone. And I won't talk about the process, but so even just with this guy meeting you, all these pluses, because again, none of us are perfect. We all come from imperfection, right? So we all got something that's gonna rub the other person in the wrong way. But it's just my personal belief that the one who is the one will be equipped to handling it.
To handle it. There you go. And that's what I was about to say. I was like, even though for a long time I looked at it as a loss.
Yes.
And we're going to get to that at the end.
I'm sorry.
The one that got away. No, that's okay. The one that got away is like, in actuality, if he identified that for himself, that it's like, when she goes there, I can't deal with that. Eventually, guess what? That would have broke us up. If he really meant that from his soul, apparently he did. That when I see that side of her, it's a total turnoff. It shuts me down. Like you said, whether it was a trigger from something that had happened to him in a previous relationship or growing up or whatever. And he's like, I cannot.
Yeah.
And eventually down the road, if he had settled, that would have been settling for him.
Yeah.
When this woman goes there, I totally shut down. I disconnect from her and I don't feel love. Then he really did us both a favor by identifying that, for him, that one thing was a weighted item. It kind of reminds me when I'm scoring tests, right? It's like that was a weighted item. Now I'm 25 points, even though it was a question, and that's fine. So, but sometimes people aren't ready. They're like, I'm just not ready for whatever reason. Here's the one that really hurts me the most, and sometimes the one that got away because of your family. Your family and your friends, either your family or their family comes between you. They feel they're not good enough for you.
Yep.
Maybe they're from the wrong side of the tracks. You deserve somebody better, who has achieved more, who has acquired more,
Mm,
You shouldn't choose somebody who is outside of your race.
yeah,
Why can't you choose a Black man?
right.
Choose somebody who looks like you, who was raised like you. God forbid if that person is a different religion from you.
Yeah,
So no. So the family gets involved, and if the person is young enough, they may forbid the young person or the young people to see each other. If you're a little bit older, family just puts a lot of pressure, or
yeah,
disassociates themselves. I'm not going to come around you, or you're not welcome, to these events as long as you're with this person. And so
yeah,
one or both people decide, wow, I'm losing my family. I'm losing the favor of my family, the approval of my family. Or the other person says, I don't want to see you lose the approval and the connection to your family.
yeah.
So I'll decline. And I've seen a couple like that, and it breaks my heart. It's religion and culture that's keeping them apart. And it's like
Yeah,
family has made it clear. If you cohabitate or marry this person, we're done with you.
yeah,
And so the one individual is like, I love this person enough, I'll do it. And the other person is like, I could never be comfortable knowing that I'm the reason your family
family, yeah.
is not speaking to you. And so it's
Yeah.
the saddest thing ever to see two people that the room lights up when they're together.
Yes.
Everything is better when they're together, but because of that cultural divide, they're probably not ever going to be
Yeah.
together. And they'll always be able to look at each other as what? The one that got
away.
They're both still single. Still single.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll see them get back together and I'm like, maybe? Is it? And then you know.
Yeah, and I think that even as friends, to be so careful, because number one, if this is what the person see, who are you?
Oh my.
Who are you?
Say more.
Just stay in your lane. God ain't revealed this person.
Please.
This is not a group project.
My God.
This is a personal, intimate relationship. You're not gonna be in the bedroom with them. You ain't gonna walk this thing of life with them. You instead of you, and then why you don't want your sister to be happy? Where you going with it?
Especially
Now,
if it's not a matter of safety, Marie. Here's my thing.
Right, absolutely.
If I can say something concrete about this person's character.
Yes.
Right? Oh, so-and-so is a liar.
Yes.
So-and-so has abused you.
Yes.
Whether that was emotionally
yes.
or physically or verbally. And I've seen it. Not what I heard, but I saw the woman disrespect you right in front of me. Those are character flaws. And those are kind of
absolutely.
But just because
absolutely
you look a little shady, that's all you bringing to the table. That's your damn opinion. Oh Lord, bring it. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Okay.
Yes, it is.
You ain't gotta live with it. The other thing, Sherry, come on, it's not a group project. Okay, sis, I'm glad you're still here because I was like this. We talked about this a lot. Okay. And then the other thing is this, and this is my saying, I need this on a t-shirt. You will never understand the space between two people. Yes. There is no way for you to comprehend it or interpret it. Yeah. Okay. And it ain't for you to do that. Yeah. So short of you seeing your family member, friend, beloved individual be abused, and you're like, sister, brother, I'm concerned for your safety. I don't feel like this person has your best interest at heart. Other than that, you sit there and you listen, you suck it up. If they ask you, tell the truth.
Absolutely.
But do understand this, if you come cold, you're gonna pay the price, because 9 out of 10, that person is going to go on with that relationship. And they're not going to say anything to you. They're going to shut you out.
Yep.
You're going to lose your purpose.
Absolutely.
The same thing why we have to be careful though with the intimacy of relationships as well, what we share. So when things go south, because you will go and he said and he did, and then I never thought that he would do this and he did that. And for real, it's on the crack. Girl, well, that bastard this, but you know, when he didn't never deserve, you know what, sister, we didn't never like him, no way. And you know you can do better and blah blah blah. And then 24 hours, you're like, we talked it out and we're good.
Yeah.
They still mad.
Yeah.
It's still mad because they don't love him. They don't love him. So then what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So you either gonna lie behind their back and you're gonna see the person in secret, which is disrespectful to your relationship.
Right.
Or you end up letting them go because you want everything to be copacetic.
Right.
In your family circle. And it's like, they're never going to respect our relationship. We're never going to be legitimate in the eyes of the family. And now you sit up there miserable and everybody else is a +1 and you the 5th wheel or the 7th wheel because you let the person go who you really love because nobody else could see it.
Thank
nobody
you.
else
And that was the thing, because I have friends. I love, and let me say this, I love love. I love love.
I know, that's how we can
love
say that.
When people find it. So I don't care how many licks of the Tootsie Pop it takes for you to get to it. I don't care. Keep licking.
She said,
I don't care.
1, 2.
How many failed marriages? Listen, I admire individuals who have loved it, have loved, maybe lost it for whatever reason, but still have their heart open to love again.
Don't you start.
Girl, shoot, let me tell you.
I had a whole box of Kleenex. I came ready.
I know she's not gonna buy. My sister-in-law, I love her to life. And she's married, a lot of folks was like, oh, is she saved? She left her husband and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, well, Marie, how's she doing? I said, well, let me tell you, you got your phone? You got your phone with you? Yeah. Then dial a number. What you talking to me for? I'm not going to report to you. If there's something you want to know, talk to her. But I admire her so. She has such a loving, caring heart. And there's never no judgment. And I'm like, you do you. You do you.
You want them to have whatever.
With her through it. And then I had another friend who was getting remarried. And just like you said, the difference of religion or whatever. And she called after she got out of church and she said, hey, Maria, she was telling me about the guy, whatever. And she said, well, he's not of the same faith and stuff. And I said, well, who? Do you love him? Yeah. Does he love you? Yeah. I said, well, hell, you done had you a Christian. That nigga wasn't shit. So go on ahead with this. Go on. Ain't nobody got time for this. And happily married. And then, other sisters, I could see you and this guy got a connection. I can feel it in the room. I'm coming in, I'm excited. You have been believing God for it, it's here. And then you got your besties. Oh no, hold up. No, heifer, you hold up. Celebrate. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry.
No,
but celebrate.
I was putting flag on the not on you. No, but honestly,
so I'm so excited. And
all these rules, right?
Yes.
And nobody else has to live
by.
It's the thing. And I tell people that all the time, do not make any decisions, right, based on the feedback from people who don't have to live.
Yes.
That decision, right? And so on the surface, that makes sense, right? Okay, well, that's probably going to be a big problem sometime at some point down the road, if you all are not on the same page in terms of
Right.
you're not on the same page in terms of, you know, how you make your money and that kind of thing. But look, I'm a witness. Sherry know this is true. I dated an atheist at one point. Right now, while I was in seminary,
Okay.
it didn't make any sense, right? But watch
Yep.
this. Watch this. When I would have my evening devotion, wherever we were, he knew I did my evening devotion at 9:00. If we were out, maybe you need to pull over so you can do your
Yep.
devotion. Now he wasn't gonna do it with me, but he respected.
Yep.
That is what I do. He came to the seminary, sat in the seminary with me when I would be working on my essays. I'm like, you're okay here? It ain't bothering me.
Yep.
You're happy doing what you're doing. And he respect the space, be quiet,
Totally.
you know, honor the sacred space where I was in. Every once in a while, he'd hold my hand when I would pray. And I asked him one day, I said, how are you praying when you're saying you don't believe in God? And he said to me, he said, I say to your God, give my baby whatever she wants
Wow.
because she believes in you.
Won't he do it?
So he respected my faith,
Listen.
even though he didn't have it. Now, ultimately, I do believe that would have been kind of rough, because when we really started facing some obstacles,
Yeah.
we can't sit there and petition God together
Right.
because you don't believe like I believe.
Right.
But at the same time, like I said, I'll never know. But I do know this: he respected my faith more
Yes.
than the men who profess to be Christians.
Come on now.
Who felt like when I said I was going to Bible study, you gotta go Bible study this week. Didn't you go Bible study last week? You go to Sunday school. You teach a Sunday school.
Girl.
That's kind of what I do. You know, this man don't even believe in the God that I believe in. He was like,
yes.
my girl at Sunday school, but I'm gonna see her later.
Yep.
I ain't going. Look, came to the church. I had a movie night. What was that when God Is Not Dead came out? Had a movie night. The man came, put the pots on, nachos, set up the chairs.
Yep.
He ain't understanding nothing that's in this movie. But he's like, that's my girl. That's what she does. And I'm Team Kim.
Yeah.
Taught me a lot. Didn't make sense to anybody from the outside.
Yes. And now see Kim,
crazy.
Put a pin down. Because even that with letting it get away, because we got God so boxed in on how we think
you about to hold show up. Show.
And forget about the prophet Hosea.
Listen.
And what he said to him. And what God wants to do. Oh no. So all this, I'm looking for Boaz. Boaz wasn't looking for nobody.
God today.
Come on now. So this one that had all the boxes except he got a man of God.
Well, that wasn't like that one what broke us up.
But no, I'm just saying, but somebody it did.
But right. And
somebody it did. Somebody
maybe you were that advocate. Maybe you
right.
were.
Somebody it did. Somebody they no. And then you believed everybody else instead of hearing the still small voice of the Holy Spirit that he was in this. Now you may have met him as a non-believer, as an unbeliever, but not knowing what God wanted to do through you, through him, to even bring him that the two become one. But but we so caught up. So this one got away because you looking for God to show up one way, but he showed up a whole total different way.
Like I said, I'm not counting. He's not in my count for the one that got away. He's not in that count. But and in fact, I talked to him a while ago. And I'm the one that got away for him. Whole nother show for another day. So what about choosing somebody else? We got to get through this list. Choosing somebody else and then choosing wrong.
Oh,
so you got two people and you're like, should I go this way or should I go that way? And then you choose this one, and then you go, damn, And what I tell
I
you
messed
earlier,
up.
I said, it's like you on Let's Make a Deal. And Monty Hall is like, you gonna go with door number 1 or you gonna go with door number 2? And you go, I think I'm gonna go with door number 2. And as soon as you go through door number 2, whatever's on the other side of door number 2, you go, oh dang, I should have went with door number 1. But door number 1 is like, you told me you ain't want me.
Yep. And you went by
So
door
I'm
number 2.
So I'm gone. So I'm not gonna give you a second chance to break
Yep.
my heart. You go, oh, but see, but
I can't withstand your rejection again.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And like I said, definitely, I remember doing that one. I'll own that one. And again, that's when I was choosing bad. I've been delivered. Okay, but when I was choosing bad, yeah, I used to choose bad. Where's Sherry? Sherry, no, I told her this story before. Look, I would choose, and I was telling you earlier, I'm gonna choose the baddest mofo out here. I'm gonna choose the one everybody else wants that can't nobody else get.
Yeah.
Kim got him. Okay. Everybody saying, I'm sitting up there like, look at here. Okay.
Yeah.
But the one that I let go was the one that would have wifed me, the one that would have took care of me, the one that would have elevated me and made sure that everything that I was purposed to do, I would have done.
Ooh.
But he wasn't fancy.
Ooh.
But he wasn't easy on the eye.
Yep.
And he ain't give me that calling card in my circles to be like, damn, you see how God fine, but you know. And so, but that's where my mentality was. And to be honest, in hindsight, I will say this: I didn't deserve him at that time, because if that's how shallow I was, I would never have loved him or valued him the way he deserved to be.
That's what I was just gonna say when you came in with it, was that he didn't appeal, or these men right here that were rejected for this reason, choosing, because he didn't appeal to the senses.
Yep.
What I feel, because that's unfortunately is our number one leading cause. Well, I feel this, and and then I feel that, and then and then I was looking this, and then he has to have this, and all these senses we're relying on.
Yep.
But not pulling back the layers. So it's like, ordering a meal. It looks good, smells good, looks like it, because
sometimes we don't even do that. Don't even look. Have you been out to dinner with people, honest to God? They'll look at the menu. Oh, that look good. Yeah, bring me this. They didn't even read the ingredients. Then they bring, what the hell is that? Oh, that's shiitake, whatever. I didn't know that was in it. Can you take that off of there? Clearly it was in it.
Yeah.
On the menu, then it was a
right.
Light gravy. What kind of sauce is that?
Right.
Oh, it's a red wine reduction. It's this.
Oh, wait, hold up.
No, I don't even. No, take that back. Take that back. Because I just looked at the picture, and this is what I'm telling you. Like, this looks like. I mean, I'm telling you, I can't think of anybody that I dated I took a bad picture with. So people are like, oh, y'all look so good together. Oh, y'all look so good together. And you know good and well, this worth a dime. But we look the part. So I'm going to ride this out, and I'm going to pray to God, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost 3 times a day to make this mess a miracle.
Yes.
Because it looks good.
So,
we look good. We show up well together.
Yeah.
It's a whole mess.
Yep. But I'll tell you this, Kim, I had written this piece called "I'm Not Your Temporary Fix."
Oh,
I'll send it to you. And
I need that yesterday.
Okay. And so I was led to share with this young sister, younger than me. So she read it and she called me right away. She's like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And guys, and da-da-da-da. I said, whoa, pump your brakes. You didn't read this thing right. This is not to bash the brothers. This is
Uh-huh.
an enlightenment.
Yep.
For
Yep.
myself. So as she was going on, and this is what was given to me. Using this analogy, women, a lot of women, we love to shop. Looking at you, you well put together, meticulous from our hair. So let's just say you get an invitation to an event, whether it's a wedding, but something that's really nice, spectacular. And even though you have a closet full of dresses, a closet full of shoes.
Oh Lord, I know where you're
jewelry
going.
on top of jewelry.
I know where you're going.
Anything you can pick up, your first mind, you got in mind what you want to look like, and you take your ass to the mall.
You already know. Well, you know I'm going to Amazon.
Listen, you gonna go through, you know what store you going to.
Yes, ma'am.
You know already the vision you have in your mind of what you want to look like.
Yes,
from
ma'am.
head to toe.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now you're looking for that outfit to match that vision.
Yep. Come
So
on.
you going through the rack, you pull out a certain number of dresses or outfits. You then go to the fitting room for the three-way mirror.
Girl.
You try on each outfit. You look in front, back, side. You see how it is when you bend over. If you're showing too much cleavage,
Lord
you're
God.
looking at how it curves your ass. You're looking at how much leverage you got around the waist. So when you eat, can you eat? Can you laugh? Can you move? Do you need to have any other additional accessories underneath to hide any bulges to keep them in line? All of this to finally you find the perfect outfit.
Yes, ma'am.
Bam! You know you right. And you know every man, every sister gonna be like, damn.
Everybody.
Look at her. And you looking like this is it. But
looking like you
underneath
looking.
your arm along the side is this
Uh-oh.
fine tear. This fine rip.
Uh-huh.
That your arm can hide it. But you like, you can't take that risk. Because to wear it may further this risk.
I know where you're going.
If you have your meal, you can't even get through the 7 course. Because by the time you didn't have the main course, this rib gonna get bigger. No amount of girdle and anything else gonna hold that shit in. So you like, dang. So you bring it back, put it back on the rack. You're looking for something, and finally find something that's not like the first one, but close enough, whatever. And I told her, that's how we choose men.
Yep.
We pick them up off the rack, got the look, because we got our vision.
Yep.
How we want to look.
Yep.
Got the vision. How you gonna fit me? We got the vision. And all that, how you gonna match it?
Looks the part. He looks the part.
And then we get this tear that some other sister, fat ass, knew she couldn't fit the damn dress. Pull it up, and now you got him, and he got a rip in him that you didn't do, but somebody else did, and you think you can fix it. Oh, I can take it. I can get somebody who can really stitch this up. I'm gonna take it because, it's just this one little rip, but everything else is fine. But there's an alternate that may not be as good, but it's still good. But I'm gonna still take this jacked up mess and make it work. And the rip just keep getting bigger and it making you look ugly. So as much as you thought you were gonna be that girl at the event, all the pictures showing your rip.
See? And
that's how you choose
and everybody
me.
can see it. And everybody can see it. But see, sis, I was thinking the opposite. Now I've seen some folks where you're like, okay, this guy, all right, he's got all the stuff, but maybe, like you said, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
Throw him away. I go get the latest edition. That's too much work.
Oh, yeah.
He's not perfect like you're perfect. So I've seen some folks won't even give a man
A
the
chance.
grace
Yeah.
to have some character flaws or to have some hurts. It was years before I understood that men hurt like we do.
Oh, girl, yes.
I'm talking about when I was a young woman, I
Yeah,
didn't think men hurt like we do.
I did.
I thought men hurt women,
Yep,
right?
did too.
Yeah, but men don't hurt. And then
Yeah.
to find out after raising a son, seeing a man grow from scratch. Yeah, men hurt, men
They
cry,
do.
men are
Yeah.
wounded, men have feelings.
They
And
do.
so I've seen a lot of women that as soon as a man shows any kind of vulnerability, you gotta go.
Yes.
Ain't nobody
Yep.
doing that. I ain't fixing that. I ain't no factory for the wounded. And it doesn't seem like we can find that balance between
Yes.
hospital for the sick, empathic woman who attracts men who need to be healed, right? And is looking for somebody to heal them, pick up where their mother left off. And the women who are like, I'm not going to invest in anybody who needs or who is evolving.
Absolutely.
So somewhere, like I said, using discernment, right? See, is this somebody, and here's the trick that I share with my clients. Is this somebody who's wounded who wants to be well?
Yes.
So if this is a man who indeed has been hurt, has been taken advantage of, has not been loved properly, and he understands I've been mishandled.
Yep.
Either by my own choosing, or me staying too long where I was, tolerated and not celebrated, whatever. And I'm working towards that.
Yes.
Totally different than somebody saying, well, if you treated me right, then I would be a better man.
Right.
That's way too much work. If it's somebody who is there who's saying, you know what, I'm on the course towards healing, I seek healing, I am working on my healing, I'm in therapy, I'm in life coaching, shameless plug.
Right.
See your girl if you need life coaching and relationship coaching. The Complete Suite LLC. You can find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook. We do that. I walk people through that, through heartbreak.
Absolutely.
I don't want to experience this again. So Dr. Hill, what can I do differently? Sit here, boo. Let's hash this out. When did this start?
Yep.
What did that feel like? How do I recognize it when it happens?
Absolutely.
So I can walk away early, right? And know this is not good for me, right? Or know that guess what? This is painful, but this is actually good for me. So being able to judge that. So that's, that for me is what I tell women. No, you should not be, creating build a man every other month. Okay. But at the same time, I don't think anybody is showing up who doesn't need some tweaking and some loving and some greasing those joints and rubbing over the rough spots and saying, hey, I'm gonna hug you so tight that all those broken places are going to come together, and that man can receive that.
Absolutely.
As well as a woman needing that and can receive
absolutely.
That. But big difference than us trying to fix someone. So what about this one? We gotta move on.
I'm sorry.
What about I can told you we can stay on any one of these all night. What about missing the one that got away? Let me recap for the folks that just came here because quite a few of them. So the first way that you can lose somebody or they get away is by having hindsight, realizing what you had after it's gone, looking for something different at the time. Maybe you were, in your kick it stage and they were looking for something serious. Maybe the timing wasn't right. You were deep in school and they were finished with school. They got deployed, in the military, or you got taken, or, you had to move because of your family or because of some circumstances, and y'all got pulled apart and weren't able to get back. You pushed them away because you weren't ready. You pushed them away. It's just, I don't even have the bandwidth for a relationship like that right now. Maybe you were already hurt. Maybe you're like, I'm still sowing my wild oats. Let me get it all out and then I'll be ready to settle down. But by the time you were ready, they had moved on. Your family or their family came between you. Either they hated this person, they were like, they're not good enough for you, or They felt like you needed somebody with greater status or better resources or somebody who was the same religion as you. And you lost out. It could be that you chose somebody else and you chose wrong. And then when you came back, they were gone. Hey, Emma, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But what about this one? What about losing the one that got away because you were too afraid or deep in your pride to say anything? You knew that this person was your person. You like, now you probably was a friend. A lot of times this happens. We're in the friend zone. This is the person I'm spending all my time with, but I start catching feelings. And you kind of wake up one day and you go, oh, I ain't never seen him quite like that. He fine. Or, wow, I kind of felt the jitters. I kind of felt the butterfly. We together all the time. I never felt that before.
Yeah.
And you keep feeling it. And you're like, dang, I should tell him, but
yeah,
I don't know.
He might not feel the same way.
Yeah, he might not see me the same way. He might not feel the same. And then we got the whole friendship gone. So, or I'm just not gonna put myself out there. I mean, and I've known some women like that. Well, I don't tell my feelings to no man first. He got to tell me. Then I'll tell him how I feel. So you don't say anything. And then all of a sudden you look up and you see that person dating someone. And then they start telling you, I think I'm in love.
Ooh. And
you like, but actually, I'm in love with you. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate you, girl. But and I came off of COVID this week.
My best friend's wedding, Julia Roberts.
See, oh God, see what I'm saying? And that's real. I've seen that in real life. It is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's one of those
for you to see the person that you love.
Congratulations.
Oh,
I thought it would have been me standing next to you. Congratulations.
Yes. That's some heartbreaking stuff to see.
Yep.
The person you could have had, and the only thing that was stopping it was your pride.
Yep, you didn't open your mouth.
That's what's crazy.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Between you. Yeah, you can't blame the village. You can't even blame the person there with. You sat on your hands.
And you sat on your hands
because you were afraid.
Yep.
Or your pride got in the way. I don't step to nobody.
They should know. They should know because.
Yep. Well,
I'm always there. I'm so supportive.
I did this.
And he should see that. And girl, please.
Yep. And now you got to watch them walk into the sunset with the person who had the courage to tell them how they felt. Now, shame on you. Now you got to sit there and cry your tears by yourself. It's a sad thing.
And then you get another chance, though. And you still don't say nothing.
I don't know. I hope somebody doesn't do that. Emma said hi in the chat.
Hey, Emma.
And say hi to Derek. Derek came in a little while ago. And Sherry Berry and Miss Monica.
Sherry Berry.
Say hi to the people. They're glad you're here. They enjoy my
special. Thank you.
Okay, so what if you're the one that got away? What if you're the one that got away? And how do you know that? And I've said that, wait a minute, and I this is my bragging rights. I'll tell anybody this. I'm like, without a shadow of a doubt, that I am the one that got away for a whole lot of people. There's only one person that has never tried to come back for me. Only one person. One person.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else, what Bruno Mars and them said, Silk Sonic. I'm gonna leave that door open. Most of them, they know. Listen, seriously.
I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open. Hey, like old girl in back. LL, Lady Love. If the shit don't work out,
baby.
Talk to your girl.
And I'm just saying, that's pretty much how I've always tried to leave. So you don't, girl, sis, don't make yourself sick now. Listen, that's literally how about the say, hey, you know what? It didn't work out between you and me.
Yep.
You're a good person, but it just didn't work out with us. But I love you, boo. You know what I'm saying? So it's nowhere I can walk down the street where I gotta duck and dodge, somebody I don't want to see or to see me, know. And they all get out there in these dating streets and they see it's piss in the pool and they go, oh, that crazy girl, she actually loved it me. She did.
Yeah.
She wasn't asking for that much, So how do you know? So how do you know you're the one that they got away? Here's some signs. They can't move on.
Oh, yeah.
Look at your ex and they're just stuck in a holding pattern. They cannot move on because part of them is still sitting there. Sometimes they're waiting for you to come back and make things right. They want you to extend that olive branch. Be like, well, she know it was, I was good to her. It was good between us.
Girl, listen.
So if she does come over here and act right, we could do this.
Yep.
So they won't go on with anybody else. They just kind of stay hovering around, waiting on you to make that move.
Yep.
That's one way you're the one that got away. They can't get over you. They can't get. Wait a minute, come on. Where's my old school friend? Can't get over you. Oh man, I got a whole soundtrack for the night. Come on now. They can't. And I mean, can you imagine? I'm just saying, well, you had the best. Come on now.
Yep.
How you going back from this?
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, just pray for all my exes.
Girl.
And
Shoot.
Liz, tell them how they gonna get over Dr. Kim McKim? But anyway, they can't move on. Here's the one that tickles me. Sis, if you got a story about this, please add to it. What about the ones that keep trying to find another you? I've seen folks, I'm like, dang, I said, she look like she could be my cousin. She look like she could be my sister. Oh, there go Kim 3.0. This Negro still trying to find me and everybody else. Guess what? God made me on a Saturday.
I know.
Rested on Sunday. Ain't no more.
There are no more. There are no more.
He finished. He's like, oh,
I know more.
He was like, okay, all right, we done.
There are no more.
He didn't make no more of me. Now, some people would be like, thank God, because you imagine two of me. that could be a lot.
Girl, let me tell you. Heather Hadley has a song in my mind. I always be your lady. And she says, and there's a line where she said, ran into your mother. So I got the mothers. My son, he messed up. I told him.
Yep. The moms be knowing.
And I was thinking in my mind, girl, you ain't mess up. I wasn't getting with your son. Not like that.
But I'm saying them mamas be knowing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you see, and they keep trying to find another you. Then here's the other one. Excuse me, you all. Still trying to beat this COVID. They ask mutual friends about you.
Oh.
They keep trying to find out. So,
girl, wait. One of my friends ran into. Now, me and this guy, we didn't even date. We was just a lot of the ones who were like, I was the one that got away. I was shocked and surprised by it because, like, we didn't date or anything, but they were attracted and drawn to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, whatever. I'm not feeling you. But one of my friends, she called me. She said, girl, I ran into so-and-so, so-and-so. And I was like, okay, trying to remember. She said, you remember? And I said, no. So she was drawing my memory. And I said, how you doing? She said, girl, that's all he talked about was you. He remembered that you had your daughter. He asked how your daughter was doing. You remember he just
asked him about
I said, he asked Mama, she said, oh, he wanted to see you again. I said, well, did you get his number or anything? But she's slow, so she didn't. And not that I was trying to reconnect
They
with you
call them slow.
to say how he's doing. But I was so shocked. And I was like, wow.
I know sometimes it be some surprises. You like, he asked about me.
Right. And
I didn't even,
girl, even I'm
realize
telling
we
you,
made this type of connection.
I done had guys coming back as far as grammar school.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah. That
dude.
was I hate
Like,
that, especially the ones that got on my nerves is the one from high school. And I was like, especially I think about like freshman and sophomore year before I was dating, because my mother didn't let me date till junior year, right? But freshman and sophomore year, you know, I'm going to dances. I'm thinking like everybody hates me because I'm sitting there, I'm skinny as can be.
Yeah.
You know, 4-eyed. She wouldn't let me have contact lenses, and you know, I'm just the nerd, like this awful nerd.
Yeah.
But then I'm finding out 30 or 40 years later, oh, I thought you was so cute, but I ain't know how to say nothing to you. Dude,
Yeah.
if you had just said hi, you know, you didn't have to ask me out for a date just to be seen. I just felt like nobody saw me, and it was just like, I'm never gonna have
the guys were seeing.
Nobody gonna ask me to dance or anything. And all these people told me, no, I never asked you to dance because I just didn't think a girl like you would say yes to me. And I'm just like, I'm over there like it's from suicide. Like, just take me down, Jesus, because nobody wants to be with a 4-eyed nerd. You know,
right? So, that's amazing. That's awesome.
I know. Is it worth trying again? When you walk away, we're going to talk about that in about 2.2 seconds. We were supposed to talk about it a half an hour ago, but we're just getting there. So here's the last thing. When they find ways to stay in your life. So Emma should have brought up Lou Rawls. Okay, no matter where you search. You better tell them, Lou.
Someone who loves you.
Searching the whole world through.
Like I do. Wow.
I'm not trying to brag on myself, baby.
Come on, Emma. Okay. Bring it on in.
But there's no ifs or buts. Or maybe. Come on, everybody. You're
gonna miss my love, babe.
You're gonna miss my love, and you're
gonna
miss. And it's cold outside, like it's right now. Outside. I know that you are gonna miss my love. Yep, all of it.
Go, sis. Way to go, Emma. Yes.
You will, baby. Don't I know you're going to miss. Okay. We got to move on. When they find ways to stay in your life.
Oh yeah.
That's how you know you're the one that got away. When they invent reasons to show up.
Yep.
Man, never knew how to fix nothing before. All of a sudden, I heard a tree fell down in front of your house. I can pick it up. Sir. You need to put gas in my car.
Yes.
Now you want to pick up a whole tree from in front of my house.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Want to do stuff for your mom and your daddy.
Oh yeah.
Are you serious? You want to do stuff for your mom and your daddy.
Yeah. You know you.
When they find a way to stay in your life, you know you're the one that got away. So Liz asked a very important question.
Yeah.
She said, is it worth trying again when you walk away? So if the one got away, do you try to get them back? Let's talk about it. First of all, find out if they're single.
Yeah.
So this actually happened to me today. You all are not going to believe this when I tell you, I feel like sometimes my life is a reality TV show. Because I'm just like, how is it that this happens on a day when I'm getting ready for the show? So I get this random text from somebody. I'm just like, hi. So he was still in my contacts. So I see the contact picture, but I was like, oh, okay, you know. So yeah, I'm good. You're good. Okay. Hey, I was just trying to see, how's your life going? So now, where's my Young and the Restless music? You know, my life is going well, and yours. So you want to know, was I, you still, you're still looking good. How do you know? So that tells me you've been Facebook stalking.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Thank you. I'm trying to maintain, Are you single? So I was like, are you single? And he says, yes. And he says, are you? I said, I am not. I am single, but I am talking to someone very special.
Yeah.
My unicorn angel. And so he says, oh, wow. I wish you the very best. You could tell the enthusiasm, right? I wish you the very best. I hope everything works out for y'all. Thank you. And likewise. Okay. Now I got to delete you. Okay. Because I don't want you to come back on me again.
Yep.
Okay. And it wasn't the first time, but it's the first time that I actually have been like, I really care not to. Never went out with this person. Probably remember talking to him on the phone a few times, but he was just like, I just always remember you were just such the sweetest girl, had so much going for her. And he's like, I dropped the ball. I can't even explain it. Now, it could be that it's just cold outside. And he's like, let me go back through the Rolodex and see, you know what I'm saying? It might not even be true.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, okay, so do you go back? So first find out, are they single? Single meaning there is no connection to another person. Like free agent. There's nobody waiting in the wings. There's nobody that they're interviewing seriously. There's no one that believes they're in a relationship. There's nobody that they're spending every weekend with and like, hey, we're not together, but we feel the time. So single meaning nothing. There's nobody who is drunk calling them. Single. I'm just telling you my definitions.
Absolutely.
When I was like, is it anybody who thinks they're in a relationship with you?
Right.
Is it anybody who can show up at your house without notice?
Right.
Is there anybody who your kids may be confused about who they are to them?
Right.
Is there anybody got to the last 4 digits of your social?
Yeah.
That kind of single. So first find out if the person is single before you break your own heart. Okay? Single. First thing you probably want to do, if you know you perpetuated the breakup, start with an apology.
Yep.
Put your pride down. Start with an apology. Look, from what I remember, I dropped the ball. I stopped speaking to you. I took you for granted. I went according to a rumor.
Yes.
I've seen some people do that, walk away from somebody. Somebody said, you find out later, those were haters. They didn't want you together.
Yep.
You never went and fact checked with your person and said, hey, people said that you were there, that you said, maybe did you do that? You didn't. Like, oh, is that what you, fine, it's over. Never even gave them an opportunity. But you want to apologize. Seems like you have to fill out an application just to date. Liz, I'm just telling you what my 11 years, almost 12 years of research has uncovered. If you do not ask these questions correctly, because there are some deceptive snakes out here.
Yep.
Okay. If you don't ask that question right, you're going to get got. So yes, you can mark single on the application, but that's why I said, are you single? Because there's some folks in some situations. I've been in situationships. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that situation is what you need, but that person needs to know. Okay. Met some people at my sister's birthday party a couple weeks ago. Same thing. Are you single? I am single. I am not married to someone, but I am in. I'll be an interview. We say we figured it out. So it's somebody. It's somebody around me. So you need to know that. You need to know.
Yep.
Amen. Yes, sir. You're right, because I was asked these questions. Yeah, and people have a right to know.
Yeah.
Now you still may say, "Hey, I'm open to having coffee with you or to having dinner with you." Some people feel flexible enough to say that. You go, "Oh wow," and somebody gonna drive up and have a problem with that. I think you have a right to say that, because some people be playing,
Absolutely.
playing games, and you see people are serious out here.
Oh yeah.
It's not worth getting shot to me. It's not worth getting stabbed. Somebody walking up, "Oh, you gonna do my man?" Man say he was single. Well, he lay his head with me every night. Oh, didn't know nothing about that. Oh yeah, well, see, I didn't mean. So yeah, you gotta answer a certain way. So apologize. The second thing that you probably want to do, if you want to attempt to get back the one that got away, is address what happened.
Yes.
Address what drove you.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Get it up, girl.
Excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Gotta be.
Take your time, Kim. Take your time.
I am. Hands up. You have to be transparent. There's no sense in moving forward if you can't go back to what drove you apart in the first place. And if you're not willing to have that conversation, not only is there no chance of repairing what was broken, but you don't deserve that person. And don't expect for them to give you a chance if you're not going to call a spade and take ownership for either watch the statement for what you did or what they felt you did.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that? Sometimes you will find out, you're like, that's what you thought went wrong. Yes. And I've seen this conversation happen. People have two totally different perspectives of what went wrong. You're thinking that you all broke up because you said or did this or failed to do this or that. And they were like, nope, that wasn't it. It was because of this. And you're like,
what? Yeah.
Feelings, and I stand on this in every session I do. Feelings are never right or wrong.
Yep.
It's what you do with them. So again, you're going to open up Pandora's box and go back 10, 15, 20 years. Okay. And they tell you something that you did not know. You need to be willing to accept it. And even apologize for it and said, you know what, sweetheart? I did not realize that impacted you like that. I don't even remember doing that. But if I hurt you, if that hurt you to that level, that we've had this many years that we didn't speak, I am sorry. But if you're still trying to be right, don't even step to that person. If you're still trying to win, don't even step to that person. But be willing and open to hear some things that are probably going to surprise you.
Yeah.
That you don't remember because either you pushed it down or, like I said, you just didn't see it that way. You just didn't see it that way. The other thing that you need to do, but that doesn't make it true. No, it doesn't make it true. Here's what I'm saying. It may not be true. Those of you who are parents can attest to this. My parents have said it to me. Well, I can recall things from my childhood. And I'm like, you remember when you did or said this? They're like, oh. They don't even remember. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, it may feel like that's not even true. Like this is fiction. This didn't happen. The same thing can happen in a relationship where you're like, we were both there. You see it happen in accidents. The police.
Absolutely.
And the person will say, this is what happened. And the person was hit. No, this is what happened. And we were both in the same space at the same time.
Absolutely.
So it's not necessarily that you are owning a lie. But if you're going to reconnect with someone, if you're going to repair something in your current relationship, here comes the relationship renovator. Okay, I'm trying to keep y'all together.
Yep.
You've got to be willing to honor the relationship more than you are wanting to be right.
Come on.
That's forgiveness.
It. That's it.
That's long-term. That's long-term relationship stuff. That's us laying down, turning off the lights at night, saying that we're going to close this day and start another one. The relationship has to be more important than you having a win on your scorecard. So that's what I'm saying. They may bring something up that you like, I know I didn't do that. I know with everything in my knower that I didn't say or do that. But this man is standing here flat-foot in front of me and saying that broke his soul that this happened. If I really want this man back and he's really who I believe he is and was, then I got to own that and apologize and say, baby, if I did that, I don't recall doing that. But if that's what you've been walking around with 20 years, okay, I'm standing here today on November the 18th, 2022, saying I'm sorry, and you can guarantee that will not happen again.
And Kim, can you put a pin there? Even if it doesn't end with reconciliation, or it's still good to do, because the hardest, most challenging thing, we don't ever see ourselves. And this very well could be the very thing that we're not aware of that could be carrying over into all our other relationships.
Absolutely.
And we're not aware of. So even if we're not aware of it, and this guy or this woman, and this man or this woman brings it, the problem a lot of times is because sometimes people surrounding us may be fearful of pointing out stuff to us because they fear our response. Yes. And so even now that someone has brought it to light, now if having a conversation with your family or with your kids, or, or maybe somebody new, or even, your friends say, you know what, I reached out to my ex and this we said, you might just be surprised at those around you now that might say, yeah, that is you. What?
Yep.
Because the thing is, I'm not saying we have to grow. My desire is to grow. And if there's a common thread among my relationships, even with my family, then I have to take an inner look that I am the common denominator in all of it.
Yep, honestly.
And whether I can recall it or not, because I can see the effect that it has caused in another person's life. For me, I take ownership of that. Because just as Kim mentioned before, I wasn't in a place, or I wasn't in a time, or I'm carrying some baggage, or just, as saying before, not even knowing that all what had happened to me in my youth with the sexual abuse and all that, along the way, I made some casualties.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Yes, I did. Whether I remember it or not, that pain was there, starting at the age of 9, and it continued to just build with each attack. So no, I wasn't aware where to place it. So yeah, I made some victims. I said some things, I did some things that I'm not clear about, but I got to know that because I was so damaged, hurt people.
Yep.
That I had have left some brothers, some sisters, some friends out there bleeding. And to have an opportunity to at least clear that slate, that healing is not only for that person, but also for me.
It's also for you. Absolutely.
Also for me. So
that's why I said whether you reconnect or not, like you said, just being able to go back and like saying, fix some things, straighten some things out. Like you said, learn some things. Sometimes, like I said, we find out that, like you said, so maybe there was something going on with me. Here's one that I found, and I was sharing with a friend of mine a couple of months ago. And that common thread, me being overly sensitive. And so, like I said, I found that, like what you were just saying, I was like, wow, as soon as you said that, I could connect to that there were people who wouldn't say anything to me because I didn't, well, the men that I was involved with, because I didn't want to see you cry. And there was something about seeing you cry was too much for me. So I'd rather not say anything than to cause you to cry. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But then what a cost that was for them, because then they're bottling things up inside, and then you start resenting this person. You just remove yourself. And I said, oh my God, I made it that hard for you to be honest with me. Absolutely. It was very hard. But I wasn't finding that out till years and years and years
later.
after.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the grace of it is hearing it, and then, like you said, then choosing to do something about it.
Yes.
Now, what I see Monica saying here, and I want to address this, she was like, man, he better let it go and move on. Now, here's the thing. You may find in reconnecting with people that they're not able to do that.
Yes.
So if there's somebody who is still, wanting to hold that over your head, and you apologized, you've gone back, you've unpacked it, you've explained it.
Yeah.
And then at every turn, they're like, yeah, well, you know how you are. That's why we weren't speaking for 20 years. Now, you got to keep bringing it up, then that may be a sign that this is not going to work.
Yes.
That we don't need to reconnect, because yes, I've been vulnerable, I've taken the hit for the team, I've owned my mistakes, I've apologized. What I'm not going to do is pay for them every time we get.
I'm not walking on no eggshells.
I don't owe you the rest of my life to do that.
Yep.
Okay? However, and this was the next piece, sometimes by doing this reconnection, what you find out is they're not the one that got away.
Yes.
You find out there's a reason.
Come on.
Why we ain't together.
Yeah.
And God or somebody.
Yes. Yes.
Did us a favor.
Yes.
And you couldn't see it, and you couldn't see it at the time.
Right.
You couldn't see it at the time.
Right.
There might have been some red flags there. Absolutely. Because you just love that person so much.
Yeah.
And at the perfect for you, but you just couldn't see.
Yeah.
Because you had already painted this picture that they were the perfect person.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's good. That's good, Kim. That's good.
So sometimes when that reconnection comes, that opportunity, still you gotta, where's my stylistic fans? You still gotta stop, look, and listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
and see what your
listen to your heart, hear what it's saying. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to sing because I'll start crying. But honestly, listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're not saying.
Right.
Sometimes what they're not saying will tell you just as much. And you may find out what some of those whys were. You may get some of your questions answered just by observing their behavior, and you're trying to reconnect with them. But the biggest thing you can do as we prepare to close, our Baptist closing, right? As we prepare to close, you've got to, even before you step to the apology, with the asking for the reconnection, with the admissions of guilt and all of that, I need for you to promise yourself, and you can promise me if you want, that you'll let go of the regret.
Yes.
Because that regret, like Marie was just saying, will weigh you down.
Yeah.
It'll weigh you down. It is a noose around your neck. So whether you reconnect or not, you've got to be willing to let the the regret.
Yes.
And you know what? What happened, happened. Barry White had a great song. What we had, we had.
Yes.
Girl, I got a playlist. I done built a whole playlist.
You sure have, girl. Yes, you have.
What we had, we had. So what we
Mhm.
had, it was good while it was good, but until it wasn't. Okay. So if we get another chance, maybe we can do this. But if not, that doesn't negate what happened.
No.
It was good.
Lesson learned. Lesson
But it
learned.
wasn't. And here's the thing, sometimes you can ruin something moving forward by hanging on to the past. That's what I'm saying. You gotta let it go, whether it ends up in the positive, that hey, we get our second chance, second time around. They go, come on, Shalimar. Don't change your mind the second time, baby. So you got that. But if you're still holding on to the past,
Yeah.
it could negate the chances of moving forward. It could weigh it down because that person can feel like, dang, they're still trying to work through this, and we can't. Like, I'm good to move forward. I thought we talked about it, and you still we good, right? We good. Because I don't want to go back where we were. We've talked about this now at least 2-3 times.
Right.
So you can ruin the chance moving forward by not letting go. You can make those wise by not letting go. And you could also find yourself deeper in despair.
Yes.
If you're not able to reconnect, if you have not already negotiated that the past happened, it was what it was. Okay. And there's really not maybe anything you can do about that. Maybe that person, God forbid, you look for that person and they're gone.
Yeah.
And you're not able to have that conversation. God forbid you reach out for that person and they're not willing to have that conversation. That's probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
To deal with the apologies you never got. Or the
you
never got to deliver, right? So really making up your mind again before you extend that olive branch, before you make that call, before you send that friend request, that I've already dealt with the regret of the past, and I don't regret it. It happened. It was good. Marie and I have talked at length about relationships that were lessons that we thought were for life.
Yeah.
So understanding, what did I learn from that? What did I learn from that person? So what part of my story did they inform and did they write?
Yes.
So what did I learn from that relationship?
Yeah.
Did I have fun? Was that the first person that made me feel really, really pretty or made me feel good about myself? Was that the first person that maybe showed me something new, right? Took me somewhere I had never been.
Yeah.
Was that the person I first learned what love was?
Yeah.
So if it did not endure, then most definitely it was worth a lesson. Grab the lesson, embrace the lesson, even if you're not able to embrace that person. So the one that got away, some people get stuck there. If I could just have that person back, if I could just go back, boo, you can't go back. You can't go back. And then sometimes, like I said, somebody else got smart and got your boo that you let get away.
Back down memory lane. I stumbled on this photograph. It kind of made me laugh.
Say, Marie.
Took me way back.
Down
Memory lane.
We're singing all the songs tonight.
I'm trying. I know I don't have a voice. I don't have a voice, even if I have a voice. No one could tell me that love would die.
See?
What?
That's somebody's story.
Your photograph.
That's somebody's story. Lord. That's somebody's story. So if the one that got away, if you let them get away, if you push them away, if you were the one that got away, we believe in second chances. We love love.
Yeah.
We love love. We believe that as long as there's breath in your body, that there's possibilities.
Yes, there is.
To love, to be loved.
To be loved. To be loved.
Be the love. Jackie Wilson. Emma, do you see this? You see the playlist we built here tonight? And so, yeah, so that was my thoughts of bringing this up. You know, even though, like I said, it's cuffing season, you probably gonna have people in your inbox digging up text messages, random phone calls, and then just again coming out of post-pandemic, people have thought so differently about their life, us having a chance to stand still or spend our time differently. So there's a lot of people that are rethinking whatever happened to. I wonder what would have happened if, right? Yeah. So if this hasn't happened to you yet, it might quite possibly be happening. And guess what? December is coming up.
Yeah.
You got New Year's coming up. So shall all acquaintance be forgotten, never brought to mind? Girl, look, New Year's Eve start coming around, people start thinking, I'm about to go into a new year by myself. I'm about to go into a new year and I still don't have somebody to call my own. What happened?
Yeah.
That one that I let get away.
Yeah.
And we started to open with How Could I Let You Get Away by the Spinners. So I'm gonna post it on my page when I finish. But how could I let you get away when I knew I would need somebody soon? Sometimes they don't realize till they get to these cold months, till you get to these holidays, and it's just like, I never thought I would see myself here.
Yeah.
I never thought I would see myself here. So if you got a second chance, you better go grab it.
Yeah.
You better go grab it because life is short.
It is. Trust me, it
Life
is.
short. And it's nothing like having regrets. There's nothing like seeing the person who you could have been building a future with on the arms of somebody else, living the life that you pictured. And somebody else is walking it out because of your pride.
Yeah.
Because of your fears.
Yeah.
Because you thought maybe it's just too late. It's never too late.
It's never
too late. I'm hoping that this
never too late. Never
broadcast. I'm hoping that this extended. Wait a second. We went Kojic. This not even a Baptist service. We done went over the 2-hour limit. So for those of you who came in at 7, God bless you, who are still here. But I hope that somebody got something from this extended conversation. I want to thank Marie Wilson for joining me.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
As much as I do, it was my pleasure to do this again on another subject. And so for those of you who are following for the first time tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome. We do this every Friday night. We talk about love and relationships. If you want to find me on Facebook, there's a private women's group where we talk about this even more, called Love and Life According to Dr. Kim. It's about 2,000 ladies that hang out with me, and we talk about relationships every day, 24/7. If you want to find me on Facebook, my personal page is Kimberly King. My business page is The Complete Suite LLC, where you are welcome to make appointments for life coaching, for relationship coaching, for career coaching. I'm gonna help you get your life on track. So come sit on the couch with me and let's strategize some ways to make your life square up the way you would like for it to. You can find me on Instagram, same handle, The Complete Suite LLC. So without further ado, I will see you next week. Thank you. It's the Relationship Renovator, baby. We're gonna keep it together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Make it work. All right. Love you, Marie.
Love you too. Thank you,
Make sure
Dr.
you like
Kim.
and share. Okay. Good night.